am Elmore, President and Founder of the proud Black Buddhist World Association, here today to bring you in another exciting Black Buddhist Lectures. We at the proud Black Buddhist World Association are not only the Black Buddhist force in America, we are the Black Buddhist force in the world, and we are the only Black Buddhist organization in the world that do not have Asian Buddhist masters. When we learned that the Asians extricated all Black history, culture, and language from the Buddhist teachings, we extricated them out as our teachers. Our lecture today is The Brahmins Created the White Christ, and the story of Abraham is a rewrite of history. Originally, Brahmins were Black people in India who opposed or who had distorted views of Buddhist teachings. The Brahmins hated Buddhists so much that when they got into power in India, they destroyed Buddhism and they brought in foreigners in India to destroy the Buddhists. The foreigners that they brought into India to destroy the Buddhists were white people. These white people mixed with the Black Indians, and they took over the religious teachings of India, and they became the new religious teachers in India, whose goal was to destroy the Buddhist teachings. I want you to look at these Indian Semites. They are the people in history who we know as Semite people. These Semite people are these people in India who became the Brahmins. These Brahmins created in India the world's first sanctified racism based on skin color called the caste system in India. Now, look at the pictures of the Brahmins in India. These Brahmins would later create a religious paradigm that would not only infect India, the Brahmins rewrote world history and created what we have in today, the false Brahmin teachings. See, the Brahmins rewrote science and they extricated all Black people. Most people have no idea that they study and practice Brahmin teachings because most Black people made a Brahmin their father. See, we learn about the Brahmin father from the British historian Godfrey Higgins, who names and explains the word a Brahmin, who later became known in history as Abraham, who later became the father of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Now, in order to get a clear understanding about the Brahmin teachings promote a history without science and facts. See, Brahmin's teachings are the epitome of apocryphal teachings. Please understand that the goal of Brahmin teachings was to destroy and rewrite Black Buddhist history, and they did a good job. See, the Brahmins are the masters of rewriting history and changing historical dates. There are two names in history that the Brahmins rewrote and changed the story. Now, in ancient literature, the word Hindu is nowhere to be found. There is no such thing in white ancient writings as Hindu. The other word you must understand is Judaism. See, the Brahmins created non-Buddhist religions of Hinduism and Judaism. This is what most people do not understand. White Hinduism and Judaism is the same religion. They use Hinduism and Judaism to destroy the Black Buddhist religion. This is what you must understand. Now, The way the Brahmins rewrote history and wrote black people out of history was through false writings called the Vedas. Now, in the Anaclipsis, Volume 1, 396 reads, quote, "The Arabian historians contend that Brahma and Abraham, their ancestor, are the same person. The Persians generally call Abraham Zarathustra. Cyrus considered the religion of the Jews the same of his own. The Hindus must have come from Abraham, or the Israelites from Rome." Now, the word Abraham is derived from the Sanskrit word Brahma. The root of Brahma is Ra, which means to grow or multiply in number. In addition, Lord Brahma, the creator God of Hinduism, is said to be the father of all men and exalted of all gods, for it is from him that all beings were generated. Thus again, we come to the meaning exalted father. This is a clear pointer that Abraham is none other than the heavenly father Brahma. The temple of Mecca was founded by a colony of Brahmins from India. It was a sacred place before the time of Muhammad, and they were permitted to take pilgrimage to it from several centuries after his time. Its great celebrity as a sacred place long before the time of the prophet cannot be doubted. This is the Anaclipsis, Volume 1, page 421. Now, let us look at the Black Buddhist and ancient history in Africa. Please Google the word Haikos. Now, we explained that the Kushites ruled the world. In ancient India, they were known as Proto-Dravidians. Now, the Haikos were black people from India who conquered Egypt. Although they were from Asia, they were Kushites. They were known also as the Shepherd Kings. What you have is different names for the same people known as Kushites. See, for thousands of years, the Kushites in Africa interacted with their Asian brothers. Let us go back to the time of the son of a Kushite king, Shakyamuni, or Siddhartha Buddha. The Buddhists were shepherd kings. Now, this is what British historian Garfield Higgins writes on the matter. Quote, "I suppose the shepherd kings who conquered Egypt were the Rajputs, or Buddhists, of the country of Raja Bedouins, or Rajasthan. The Israelites, as well as the royal shepherds, were both, in fact, Arab tribes also from Arabia on the Indus. From Raja and Punt, or Buddha, came to name the country of the Rajputs, or royal Buddhists. From Punt was the name Buddha. The inhabitants of that country were Pali, or shepherds. From Punt was the name Buddha. Now, they came from a country called Arabia as they crossed the Western Arabia en route to the Abyssinia, Ethiopia. When forced forwards by succeeding tribes, they left behind them to the peninsula the name of Arabia, which it still possesses." Unquote. This is what British historian Godfrey Higgins writes about Nubia or the Nubians. He says, Mr. Franklin says, quote, "Another striking instance is recorded by the very intelligent traveler Wilson regarding a representation of the fall of our first parents, sculptured in the magnificent temple of Istanbul in Nubia. He says that a very exact representation of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is to be seen in that cave, and that the serpent climbing the tree is especially delineated in the whole subject of tempting of our first parents most accurately exhibited. How is the fact of the mythos of the second book of Genesis being found in Nubia, probably 1,000 miles above Palafios, to be accounted for, except that it came from Upper Egypt with the first Buddhists or gymnosophists, unquote. You see, there is a total different interpretation of the Buddhist interpretation of the book of Genesis, and that the way it is interpreted in Buddhism. Now, the first archaeological evidence of Jesus happened in the 2nd century with the Kushan king Kanishka. Now, please understand that King Kanishka was a Kushan king who had ruled Afghanistan. Now, he conquered India. Now, for hundreds of years, the Greeks had introduced or had adopted the Buddhist religion. Now, when he conquered India, he changed the Buddha from black to white, and he created the beginnings of the Christian religion, and that in the 2nd century A.D., he created what is called the Ganhara images. And when you look at these images, for example, you see one of the mother of the baby being bathed, or you see the 12 disciples. You see Buddha had 12 disciples, Jesus had 12 disciples. What they did was they took those pictures of the Greek-like images of Buddhists, and that is your foundation of the Christian religion. In fact, the first evidence of the Christian religion is on a Kanishka coin. On one side of the coin, you have Buddha, and the other side of the coin, we have Jesus. Now, you see, although we can show Black Buddhist Association white people before the time of Alexander, please view the images of Alexander the Great with Buddhists. See, the ancient Greeks before Alexander was associated with Black Buddhists. There was a black man who was Socrates. He was a Gnostic or a Buddhist. Socrates taught Plato. Plato taught Aristotle. Aristotle taught Alexander the Great. Before there was ever an idea of a Jesus Christ, Greeks practiced Buddhism. What I want you to do, this is evidence of this, just Google the word Greco-Bactrian Kingdom. Let me be clear. The world's first missionary religion was Buddhism. It was the Black Buddhist king Asoka who peacefully spreaded the Buddhist religion around the world. That is evidence of what King Asoka did. It got into Africa and it got all over to certain European countries. Now, let's get to this. Abraham represented the Hindu Brahmin Jews. Now, what you must understand is that Judaism was not a monolithic religion. The Jewish religion, everybody was not the same. For example, the Jews, there was a tribe of Jews who came to Africa from India hundreds of years before the other Jews. This tribe of Jews were called the tribe of Judah. The tribe of Judah is the same tribe as the Buddha. In fact, the Buddha, Shakyamuni, was called the Lion of the Shakas. Whenever you see the tribe of Judah, you are going to see the lion, because the lion represented the Buddhists. When you see the Asoka Edict, which we're going to show you the Ahsoka Edict. You see the lions on the throne because they represented the tribe of Judah. You can see this at the Apodemic Temple in Africa. You see the Naga, which the Buddhists were Nagas, or the cobra snake coming out of the lotus flower. And you see that beautiful throne. This is in Africa. Now, what happened was that the people all over Europe later came to accept the Buddhist religion. Now, it is only the proud black Buddhists who teach the true history that the original Christ were black and Buddhist. When you challenge, you go to the 2nd century A.D. where the Kushan king changed the Buddha from black to white. This is when all of this happened. Now, all one has to do is look at the Ganhara carvings of the Buddhists, and you will see the first foundation of the Christian religion, whereas Christians were moved from black to white. I am Anthony F. Elmore Sr., bringing you another exciting Black Buddhist lecture. Thank you very much.